So as I've stated many times on this channel already, I don't want to cover every single time a new Nintendo Switch 2 rumor/leak comes out. Otherwise, while I would have videos to make just about every other day, it kind of dilutes the information whenever it actually comes out, or stuff happens that makes it seem like certain bits of information are more legit than just your average leak. And one of those is what we're going to be talking about here today. So, welcome back to That Nintendo Show. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new here. Let's talk about the new Nintendo Switch 2 leaks/rumors that are coming out that have been picked up by major gaming news outlets, which kind of leaves some evidence that maybe this is more legit than just your average Reddit leak. So for going over this, I'm going to be referencing an article from IGN, and their source for this is a Spanish outlet called Vandal, and also a blog post from a manufacturer for Switch accessories called MobaPad. And what they say is that the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to continue to support USB-C, which I think that was kind of like a standard thing. And that the dock is going to feature minor changes to it, but also going to allow for it to output 4K resolution. Obviously, we don't know if that's like true 4K or if it's like checkerboarded 4K like PS4 Pro did. I would imagine it's probably going to fall into that category. The site also references the new dock's adjustable, quote, dampening bracket on the back, which this thing keeps talking about the dock having this dampening bracket, but in my head, it kind of sounds more like a kickstand thing, so that would make me think it's more about the actual back of the Switch itself, not the actual dock. And that the device is going to have a bigger 8-inch display and supports 1080p resolution. That part we've talked about before, so that's kind of like a corroborated bit of information that it's going to have a larger screen that's going to support 1080p, which, I mean, I'm about it. But when you start talking about battery life and how the Switch already doesn't have like amazing battery life, now you're talking about adding a bigger screen with a higher resolution on it, and yeah, the battery life is just going to be probably like tanked with this thing. I'm optimistic though, maybe they'll work some Nintendo shenanigans in there and make it better, but just on the surface. So yeah, I think 1080p is the right next step, but I just don't have a lot of faith that they're going to be able to support a bigger battery in there to compensate for it. Let's go over the thing that's bringing up the most attention here, and this is actually about the mechanism that you use to attach the new Joy-Con controllers to the Switch 2. And pretty much they're going to be switching away from this railed lock mechanism that's on the current one for a, quote, electromagnetic suction mechanism. There's a lot of different ways that this just sounds like if something were to break with this when you're trying to put these controllers on, it is probably going to be the most expensive thing to fix going forward. But I'm hopeful that with this leads into a more modern Joy-Con that's going to hopefully not have any issues like current Joy-Cons do. But hopefully this isn't going to just turn into, well, yeah, we fixed the Joy-Cons. Maybe they've got Hall effect sticks or something so they don't drift. But the mechanism that's going to attach your Joy-Cons to your Switch could break because they felt like they needed to make some drastic changes there. Along with this electromagnetic suction controller, they're going to be adding new buttons to the SLSR side of the controller, and those buttons are going to be metal buttons instead. The controllers are still going to feature HD rumble, and on the right Joy-Con, by the home button, there's a new function key. Or maybe they just don't know what the function is of that button yet, but there's another button on the controller. A lot of little different things here. None of this is just like groundbreaking information. Like I said, I'm really stuck up on this electromagnetic suction thing. I don't know what that means as far as like how this is gonna impact the Switch and everything. I'm hoping that maybe either this information is not accurate, or if it is, that it's not as complicated as I'm thinking that it is. But it's also past my bedtime, so I might just be overthinking it, but we'll see. But I would like to know if you, watching this video, know any more information about how this electromagnetic suction for these Joy-Cons might actually be something that's beneficial and not something that we should be worrying about, hopefully not breaking. I would like to hear some more information if you guys have it on that. Finally, the last thing with this is that the Switch 2 is going to be backwards compatible with the Switch 1 and Switch 1 controllers. And I think that was something that a lot of people were questioning about, like, you know, Nintendo, they have a pretty dodgy track record sometimes about doing backwards compatible stuff. They've done it, sometimes they haven't though. And this is one of those cases where they are going to be supporting the old Switch games and controllers on the new hardware, kind of in a similar way to how the 3DS could play DS games, but the 3DS games wouldn't, like on the cartridges, would not fit into the regular DS because of that little nub that they added to it. Something similar to that. But either way, just a quick video for right now, just going over some current Switch stuff. Apparently, we're back into the timetable where the Switch 2 could also be coming out in 2024 again, instead of being pushed back into 2025. Again, that's all just stuff that's up in the air. And hopefully Nintendo is planning on revealing the system sooner rather than later, so we can put all of this stuff to bed, because I'm sure that a lot of people who are watching these videos, you're excited about Switch 2 or whatever they want to call it, but you're probably starting to get burnt out on seeing these Switch 2 rumors and leaks videos and articles coming out. And I'm kind of in that same boat. Like, I love covering Nintendo content, but it's like every week or two there's just something and none of it's ever confirmed. And I don't want to just keep bogging down YouTube with more content like this. But like I said, whenever the major news outlets start covering this stuff, it makes me think that maybe there's a little more to it than just your average 4chan post / Reddit kind of thing. But anyway, let me know what you think about the current Nintendo Switch 2 leaks that we've talked about in this video. If you enjoyed the video, again, please leave a like. It really helps me out, and subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you soon with more Nintendo content.